ethics. The kind of morality that Lord Russell proposed was one devoid of superstition and organized madness, one where those family twins, fear and hate, were absent, and one where men love each other as passionately as they now desire the misery of their enemies, though it would seem that reasonable men everywhere would rejoice at such a proposal. Mankind has sought otherwise and prefers to continue to imitate his barbaric past. As the selections in this chapter will amply reveal, Lord Russell shaped the nonsense from the great variety of popular myths and left each one naked with no place to hide. Consider, for example, the question of voluntary euthanasia. Are civilized men seriously expected to believe that a wise, omnipotent, and beneficent being finds so much pleasure in watching the slow agonies of an innocent person that he will be angry with those who shorten the ordeal? It is this sort of sardonic attack on traditional morality that gives the illustrations in this book that unmistakable Russell touch. For after all, it was not Lord Russell's historic contribution to logics and mathematics that made his writing a joy to read. His works in logic and mathematics can be comprehended only by readers who, with prerequisite highly technical knowledge in these subjects. And if Lord Russell would have published exclusively in these areas, he would have had few readers indeed. When this editor wished to include some sections from Lord Russell's Principia Mathematica in his book The Basic Writings of Bertrand Russell, Lord Russell replied that inclusion of more than a few summary pages would greatly lessen the sales of your book. The editor is glad that he accepted Lord Russell's advice. When Lord Russell was 38 years old, he finally decided to write on subjects that could be read by the general public, and much of his writing since 1910 dealt with enormous social problems that he used language that could be, as he said, understood by the people. As the reader finishes the last word in his book, it should be clear that Lord Russell's social satires made man remember his follies much as a mirror reminds people of the way they really look. He wrote with brilliance, and the echo of his words would remain for centuries. Like Socrates, Lord Russell reminded man to question and look at a little further and continue the search for truth. 2000 years seems like a long time, but as Lord Russell said, truth is a long and difficult business, and we should not be dogmatic. Lord Russell received a number of offers to visit purgatory, but he thought that since Socrates declined similar offers, he should not accept them either. Throughout history, the evolution of man into a self-respecting and undebasing individual has been retarded by ethical and religious beliefs. The genius of Galileo, for example, was challenged by the Holy See on the grounds that what he thought he saw in his telescope was wicked and would have a corrupting influence on church scholars and might possibly test their faith. There were many who still think that retrograde influence of religion has declined to such an extent that it has no longer poses any threat to cultural and scientific progress. But this view is apparently a mistake. The recent and sudden expansion of Islam makes this religion of 600 million rival in numerical strength than the Roman Catholic Church.